Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Output Racing League. Welcome to Kansas Speedway, and welcome to the Over the Rainbow Rumble 131 presented by Campbell Racing. I am your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator, and we are shaping up to have a fantastic night of racing in store for you here tonight. All the cars currently down on pit road as they are getting ready to execute for a pit party. Seeing them out on track very shortly. There's still at least one or two cars that are out on track. I can see Mark was out on track. He's in now. Andrew Griesbaum is another who is out on track. He's come flying past the camera. And we're just waiting for everyone to start rolling now. I can see some movement towards the front. There's Mitch Pape in the 6. He's the first one to get rolling. No one's joined him for some reason. Imagine them not all rolling at once, chomping at the bit to get some side-by-side racing going. At Kansas, of all places. Looks like a few of them are starting to get the hint now, starting to roll out onto the track. I'm doing this broadcast without the help of my stream deck tonight, because apparently the OBS plugin is no longer current. Oh, I'm going to have to try and figure that out. Cars currently coming out of turn 4, getting ready to start the pit party. Currently, Matt Horton in the 8 is the fast car in practice so far, followed by Tristan Hell, who are off and racing. Going to be another one of those races tonight where we are not going to see Christian Budd. Apparently he has to work early in the morning. So no Christian Budd here tonight. There's a private Mark Penske up on screen. He's been slowly chipping away, getting faster at these cars as Jonas Marquez made a mistake there coming out of turn 4. And Brian Pizzicami was the one to pay for it. League owner Jaron Sanchez in this race, he's currently down in last. So your top 10 as they stand right now is Horton, Health, Slama, McCannally, McCoy, Pape, Massia. We've got Nate, Campbell, and Rickard. And judging by what I'm seeing here, I don't actually know if Horton's even still in the server. It's on my secondary timing overlay that you guys can't see. His name is yellowed out, which means that he's not in the server. screen, there's Avery McDonald. Looking at Kyle McCoy as well. Listen, Hell. Got Pape just up ahead. There's Scott Rickett in behind. Campbell around the outside. Slightly different look for him as Avery catches the fence coming out of 4. He's gone for a ride through the infield grass. Oh, backwards in the fence. That's Scott Rickard. Don't know what he's done there. But he got punched in the face with the face of Brian Pizzakemi in the 78. Pape on the outside of Campbell. And looks like the outside will work. But most people seeming to prefer the inside line around here. That's what makes this track so good. Multiple grooves of racing to really bring out some flair with how this race is going to be run. And that is Nate around. He goes all the way through the infield. So McCoy, Rickard, and Pizzakemi are actually pretty well versed in these cars around this track. They just got done another league race before this that did 133 laps. That race was run during the daytime, this one being at night. Means that'll be a whole new challenge, be a little bit more grip, but it'll also make you burn up your right front just that little bit more. As Austin Collins has joined the fray in the 74 machine. Brings us up to 19 cars in the server. 33-21 strength of field. Oh no, looks like Mark Pentecoff went around in the background of the shot there. Got tight, hit the fence, and then nosed it into it. There's 99, Tristan Health. You're looking at him to do some good things here tonight. Currently second in the standings. 0.065 of a second off the leading time set by Matt Horton. There's about 9 laps left to practice. I'm expecting to see these three fighting for some of the top spots for Campbell, Health, and McCoy. Campbell, the only one of them currently not in the top 5 in speed here in practice. He does good things on the long run. We are looking at around just over 30-second lap times at the start of things. The fast time is a 29. Everyone else in the 30s. It looks like Tristan has absolutely pulled away from these two. Side-by-side battling is definitely going to play a part in all this. Got 4 laps left in practice now. Just under 2 minutes. So we are going to get ready to go for a commercial break. And when we come back, we will see the results of qualifying. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Racing action from the Over the Rainbow 131 presented by Campbell Racing will be coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Over the Rainbow 131 presented by Campbell Racing here from the Kansas Speedway. Qualifying is complete. Here is your starting grid. Andrew Griesbaum on the pole. Kyle McCoy in the 16 on his outside. P3, we have Avery McDonald with P4, the 39 of James Watson. P5, we'll have the 13 of Travis Massey with P6, the 15 of Ken Campbell. P7, we'll see the 9 of Joe Slammer. Jack Sanders in the 25 will be out of P8. P9, we'll see the 5 of Mark Pentecoff with P10, the 105 of David Huckleberry. And he is in the running for hard charger. Tristan Health in the 99 will be out of 11th. Scott Rickard will be out of P12. That's the 99 and the 05. P13 will be the 74 of Austin Collins. P14, the 29 of Nate Amoit. P15, the 1 of Logan McCannley with P16, the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Good to see Thomas out there. P17 will be the 8 of Matt Horton with P18, the 4 of Jaron Sanchez. P19 will see the 6 of Mitch Pape with P20, the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi. And then last but not least, we have Jonas Marquez and Pancho Olivas wrapping up your final row. So that is your starters and drivers for the racing here tonight. 22 cars altogether, 31, 51 strength of field, and it looks like Mitch Pape has not gotten onto the grid. So everyone that was behind him in the standings will move up one position for starting. As we start the roll off of pit road. So Pizzakemi, Marquez, and Olivas will move up. $130 laps. And we go green straight away. But Travis Massia is starting from the pits in the 13 car as well. So everyone on the inside row will move up a spot. The first start is going to be on green. All the restarts will be on the leader inside of the restart zone, and the leader has a lane choice. Looks like Griesbaum has chosen the inside lane for the initial start. The pace car is in. And we are green from the Over the Rainbow Rumble 131 here from the Kansas Speedway. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go. Multiple lanes of racing. And it's looking like at the moment the outside line is going to take it. Kyle McCoy takes the lead away. We've already got 3 wide there. As it's gone back down to 2 wide. Joe Slammer in the 9 trying to make up some moves. The 5 of Mark Pentecoff is right up there as well in 7th. Great to see Mark having a good qualifying effort and putting his car right up towards the front. That's what he needs to do to get some confidence. As it looks like most people are down on the inside line at the moment. That is the best way to save your tyres around this track, is running the low line. And these cars not having the downforce they do. The low line is generally just that slight little bit faster than the outside. You will see a few run the last in line as the race goes on. But the cars might be just a little bit too much on edge for that just yet, as a 74 Austin Collins caught the fence coming out of turn 2. That's going to tighten his car up a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't affect him too much, as Brian Pizzakemi is 78, swooping underneath of the 05 of Scott Rickard. And And I say swooping because if you're an Australian, you know exactly what it's like in spring with the Magpies. Tristan Help on the inside line. Not quite getting the speed that he desires out of it. He's lost a couple of positions there, both to Austin Collins and to Scott Rickard. He might lose another one here shortly to Brian Pizzicami if Brian gets too bored behind him. Have Olivas off the back of the pack. Travis Massier is a little bit off the back of the pack as well. Of course, Travis did start from the pits. Olivas, I think, is still just learning the ropes, learning the car. So we're not going to pick on him too much for that. That's just some help has been overtaken by Pizzicami now. All the change for position is between P11 and P16. I was expecting more moves out of the 8 car after his fantastic practice time. But the fast time at the moment is a 30.204 set by Kyle McCoy. Oh, and that's a big crash. Oh no, 3 cars involved at least. And it's Huckleberry in the 105 machine. That seems to be at the center of it. Let's see what happened. We're in turn string 4. That's the 38 of Thomas Harmon on his inside. And he comes down just fine. Does he get loose? I don't know if he got loose or whether he just checked up. Unfortunately, Thomas nowhere to go. Jaron catches a little piece of him. Jonas nowhere to go. Oh, yep, Jaron catches the fence there as well. Who's that coming in behind? Oh, that was a hellacious hit by them. Just trying to see if we can see who that other car is there. Oh, it's Logan McAnally. Oh, that's unfortunate. Gonna be a lot of damage for those cars there at the back. Logan already in the pits. His night might be done already. At the very least, he's going to go a lap down unless he gets a move on here. Got some cars choosing the pit, some cars staying out. Looks to be just about a 50-50 split there. Say just about because 12 stayed out, well 10 went in. And McAnally is out. He's just pulled the ripcord. He is going to be OUT out of this race. That sucks. McAnally is one of the fast drivers. So your order as it stands is going to be McCoy, Griesbaum, Watson, Slama, Campbell, McDonald, Pentacuff, Rickard, Pizzicami, and Health. That's your top 10. Nate is in 11th with Massier in 12th. We've got everyone else that's just come out of the pits, so their order may not be correct. You can see Sanchez, Marquez, and Huckleberry still in the pits. Those were 3 of the 4 cars involved in the incident. Sanchez already back out. See someone else making a move. I think that was Huckleberry. And Jonas, he'll have a lot of repairs to do on that 00 machine. As the lights go out on the pace car, we're getting ready for the restart. And it looks like Kyle has chosen the inside lane. He will have the advantage in the restart, being able to go from the restart zone. rather than having to wait for the green. So here we go. We'll have 10 laps down, 120 laps to go. Pace car gets ready to make that hard left turn into pit lane. There he goes. And we are off and racing once more. Good start for both of the front row there. Andrew Griesbaum timing that one just about perfectly. But Kyle McCoy will take the advantage going into turns 1 and 2. See James Watson there in the 39 trying to take second away from Griesbaum. Not going to quite get there. Griesbaum went all the way out to the fence. Griesbaum's now going to look for the move on the lead. Dives to the inside of McCoy. McCoy going to run the Larson line through 3 and 4. I think McCoy might have just caught the fence a little bit. And there was just about nothing at the line. McCoy just holding station. Come down out of 1 and 2 once more. It looks like McCoy's going to start getting the advantage. He does. Gets clear of the 68 machine. Let's see if we got any action through the field. Set the camera to focus on crashes, and it will generally take us to areas of interest like Tristan Health in the 99 car trying to go around the outside of Nate in the 29. Some 9-on-9 violence. Tristan takes it clean and clear, and he's immediately going to go straight on the attack of Mark Pentecoff, who has still been holding on to a very solid top 10 all by himself. Normally Mark doesn't qualify, he sits towards the back, but tonight he put in a qualifying effort. It's definitely paying off for him. He's got the pace to match it with these guys up towards the front. It's honestly just good to see him up there. As Rickard battling it out with Health now. And McCoy's already got over half a second over Griesbaum for the lead. Watson's still holding on to a very solid third place. Back behind these guys, I saw Nate battling it out with Mark Pentecoff. They're battling over the 9th position. There's Brian Pizzicami in the 78. He's trying to make a move on Joe Slammer. Right behind him is Health, which has been systematically working his way through the field. That's Campbell. At the same time, same token, trying to get around the outside of James Watson. And it looks like he'll make that move stick coming out of turn 2. Health made very quick work of Joe Slammer. Scott Rickett in the 05. What can he do to try and get up there? Bizakami now works his way up to fourth. He just got underneath the 39 of James Watson, who's a little bit loosey-goosey coming out of the second corner. And Health will take advantage of that, and he'll take over fifth. I think James might be struggling a little bit for Tiger up here. Just about held off Christian Budd last week. This week he's just been monstered out of the top three. And he's going to try and fight back. Look at how deep he goes into turn three. As it looks like Marquez has come out of the pits. Huckleberry has gone back into them, and he's going to lose a couple of laps here. Marquez is 12 laps down. Elf has gotten around Pizzacami. Pizzacami wanting to try and fight back on him. Elf running that Larson line, diamonding down off the corner. And I don't know why the iRacing fucking controller keeps doing that to me. Technology sucks. That's all I'll say. For Health now trying to take over third place from Ken Campbell. He went outside, now he's gone to the inside. Health has just been systematically working his way through this field. And he now has the third position from Ken Campbell. Campbell, who's also going to be under threat here from Pizzacami very shortly. Look back at the battle between Rickard and Watson. Watson trying hard to get some of these positions back. He wants to get back into the top five. He's got a couple of people to pass to do it as he gets to the inside of Scott Rickard. And why did iRacing choose that very moment to pull away? That was dumb. But Watson now back into the top six. He's got to get around Campbell or Pizzacami so he can get back into the top five. Campbell battling hard with Pizzacami though, trying to get P4 back. Obviously Huckleberry's still getting quite a bit of damage fixed here on his 105 machine. Scott Rickard was looking to the inside of Joe Slammer. In fact, that's Slammer looking to the outside of Rickard. Nate has taken over the sixth position from Watson, and he's going to start the charge for the top five now. the pace is definitely pretty strong right now. Go down the back straight into 3 and 4. And it's a 1 3/4 second lead for McCoy over Griesbaum. Griesbaum has about a 1/4 of a second over Help. And that gap is closing. Help's been putting in fastest lap times for the lap. The fastest car on track at the moment. I think McCoy's taking it very easy there out in the lead, looking after his tyres. It's very important in these cars. As the 8 of Matt Horton starting to make his way into the top echelons of the race. Just got around Rickett and now he's looking to make the move on Slama. He's just got to hope that Slama doesn't get loose and Slama into him. Not too far behind these guys, we had the 4 league owner, Jaron Sanchez. He's in P11 as Rickett has dropped to 10th. Slama not wanting to let the 8 car beat him. Ooh, got him a little bit loose coming out of the tri-oval, being right on his ass like that. And to anyone with a gutter mind that thinks that a lot of these references I'm making are innuendo as well. They are, but they aren't. This is proper terminology. But out of context, it can be taken so very different. As Rickett gets to the inside of Slama, trying to take over that 9th position. iRacing just doesn't want us to watch the battles. As Horton just about catching the fence in turn 3. And now league owner Jaron Sanchez buys into this battle and he'll take over the 10th position in the 4 car. A good run for Sanchez tonight. Looks like he's finally starting to get his groove with things with this car. Sanders has gone into the pits, the 25. He must have banged up the car a little bit. Let's see if we can catch a quick look before he gets into his pit stall. I don't see any damage on it. I don't think this is a scheduled stop. Unless it is. He's going to go a lap down here. As here goes the double O, Jonas Marquez now. To the inside of Slama. Slama might be struggling with grip on his tyres. Either that or he's overheated them a little bit, which will make them harder to grip again. And I have not been paying attention to the front of the field. The 99 of Help on the last lap took the lead away from McCoy. I think McCoy made a mistake. Even the gap between himself and Griesbaum has come down. We go back to looking at Joe Slama. He's struggling right now by the looks of things. Even Jonas has gotten around him. And there's a battle up ahead of these guys between Sanchez and Marquez. I like saying both their names together because they both end in Z. Marquez takes it over. And yeah, you can see just in the background there, the 9 of Slama definitely struggling with these tyres. He's going to want to come into the pit very shortly. As, the 25 of Sanders forces his way underneath of Thomas Harmon. You don't want to be doing that to a veteran of the Output Racing League like that. Harmon will bring that back around you, but make it look like it wasn't on purpose. I think we're going to take this opportunity to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be waiting for some green flag pit stops. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the Over the Rainbow Rumble here at the Kansas Speedway will be coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Over the Rainbow Rumble, presented by Campbell Racing here from the Kansas Speedway on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. Looking at the back of our leader, Tristan Health, as he has a 1.05 second lead over Kyle McCoy and the 16 car. Kyle actually getting a little bit loose there coming out of turn 2, so he's starting to struggle on this set of tyres as well. So we'll probably start seeing some green flag stops here shortly if they make it a 2-stop race. Griesbaum is in, Rickard is in. So yes, we are getting green flag stops right now, as we're just about at the 1/3 distance. But we're a little bit past the 1/3 distance. From here, some people will try and make it to the halfway point, but I don't think the one stop will really be viable around here. Got more cars coming in. That's Matt Horton that's just come in. McDonald is also in. So let's see what kind of an undercut Griesbaum is going to get on the leaders. Just saw McCoy's mic lighting up. So it looks like he's coming in this time as well. Currently looking at Ken Campbell in the 15 machine. Massia and Olivas is in as well. Another fun name to say, Olivas. Currently have 9 cars who have not pitted yet. I think Mark Pentecoff is shaping up to come in. He is. Now we're down to 8 cars who haven't pitted yet. And Tristan Health is staying out a little bit longer. He wants to enjoy this clean air while he has it. As the Forrest Sanchez just about collecting the fence there, coming out of turn 4. We're looking at the 38 of Thomas Harmon. He's in P7. He hasn't pitted yet either. He'll be one that I expect to try and go for the one stop. And to make the one stop work, you got to make it to lap 65. But that's also if you discount the fuel saving you got from that early caution. As it looks like we might have a few more takers for the pits. Got a few names light up in my other standings board. As Health and Fizikemi, Campbell, they've all come in. Nate's taken the lead in the 29 car. James Watson also came in, so we just got 3 cars left to pit. 4 cars left to pit, sorry. 4 car of Sanchez is one of them. 38 of Thomas Harmon is another. Harmon stays out another lap. Sanchez has come in. So now we've got 3 cars. It's Nate, Collins and Harmon left to pit. McCoy has the effective race lead over Griesbaum right now. Health has dropped back behind Rickard, so he's effectively P4. Looking at his long run pace, he will be able to come back from it. And Nate has pitted from the lead. Austin Collins now leading from Thomas Harmon. McCoy is back on the lead lap. The first car to have pitted and has returned to the lead lap. Looking at Thomas Harmon. He's not too far away from the lead. He's about 3 seconds off the lead. So if Collins pits this time, and this will give a bonus point to Harmon. And this will also bring Griesbaum and Rickard back onto the lead lap. But Collins did not pit. Griesbaum's gotten himself back onto the lead lap now. It's a hell of a run for Griesbaum. As Collins and Harmon once more do not pit. They're going to have to pull the trigger soon. They wait too long, they'll lose too much time to the leaders when they do eventually pit. As Tristan Health has gotten around the 38 of Harmon. And Harmon pits this time. This leaves Collins out there in the 74 as the only car to have not pitted yet. Harmon's tried staying out longer just to try and get that bonus point for leading the lap, and Collins denied him. There's a 78 Brian Pizzicami, who is in P7 at the moment. He'll gain one here from Harmon. He's going to go 3 wide, just about on the bottom. He wants to get around these guys so bad, but big blocks coming from the double O of Marquez. And that just about turned ugly. I don't think that was intentional blocking. I think that's just the way that it happened. As Pizzicami and Campbell both get around a 9 of Salama. And Austin Collins comes in this time. But very soon, McCoy will regain the lead. With Griesbaum second, Rickard third, and Helf in fourth, with Pizzicami in fifth. Pizzicami has Campbell breathing down his neck. There's the 8 of Matt Horton as well, as Collins starts dropping down the order. The next time around, it will be official, the lead for Kyle McCoy. It shows it on the standings right now, but it's only official once they pass the start-finish line. It's Horton and Slama battle it out once more for position. These guys battling over the 7th position right now. And it looks like Horton's going to try and power around on the outside. Now, Horton is one of the more unluckier drivers as far as the Output Racing League is concerned. He'll either get caught up in someone else's crap or he'll push too hard, put himself in a fence. As the 25 of Sanders pulled down onto the apron there. He's going to go back to the pits. And when he does do well and win, it's generally when there's no broadcast on. As Nate Amoit has gotten around him. But Nate now up into P7. As he's trying to chase down the top 5. But McCoy with a just over a 2.5 second lead over Andrew Griesbaum. And it's just under another 2.5 seconds to Scott Rickard. Actually about 2 seconds. That'd be about 2.5 between Griesbaum and Rickard. Helf just about right on Rickard's tail. That's the gap between our 3rd and 4th place drivers. And Sanders is out. Sanders has packed up his toys and he said, I've had enough. As a 99 of Helf has taken over the 3rd position. It'll be official right here at the line. As we have reached the halfway lap 65. Once they complete this lap, it'll officially be half race distance. And that'll be coming up in just a few seconds. And now we're at the halfway point, 65 down, 65 to go. Health. Just carving his way through everyone in front of him. He's got so much pace on board that 99 machine. It's almost disgusting. There's a 78 Brian Pizzicami still holding on to a nice top 5. He's trying to chase down the 05 of Rickett as well as Huckleberry. Having a little bit of a mistake there coming out of turn 2. Got super loose in front of Ken Campbell. Campbell got around him with ease. Looks like Huckleberry's tyres starting to go off. When did Huckleberry pit? He pit 42 laps ago, so yeah, his tyres will be starting to go off. And it shouldn't be too long before we see him come back into the pits. As we reach the nice lap number, 69. Nice. As I just saw Nate get right up close to that fence coming out of turn 4. He's pushing super hard as well. As I think Pizzicami has caught up to Rickett now, which he has. This is the battle for 4th, and it is already over. Pizzicami takes that away from him. Pizzicami, one of the better tyre savers in the league. Jonas Marquez is back in the pits. Huckleberry has overtaken Sanders in the standings, and Marquez is a few laps away from that himself. So Marquez been in his pit box for a while. He started moving now. He had an 18-second stop, so I think he was getting some new damage fixed. Yeah, let's have a look at the top 5 and what their pit stop time was. This is just their time in the box. McCoy had 15 seconds in the box. Griesbaum 14.7. Health 15.5, which is why he lost so much time there. And it was a 16.3 for Pizzicami with a 14.5 for Scott Rickard. So Rickard there, the fastest pit stop of the top 5. In fact, tied the fastest pit stop time altogether. Actually, no. Pancho Olivas had a 14.4, and that has been the fastest pit stop so far tonight. Now, I'm expecting the next set of green flag stops to come around lap 90. And there seems to be a slow car that was on the back straight in this group ahead. I'm not sure who it was. I think it might have been Griesbaum. Tristan Help is right on his tail now, and the gap has grown to 3 seconds. That's either Griesbaum got a really bad run or Tristan just got a superhuman run coming down the back straight last lap. Go back to looking at Scott Rickard now. He's got Ken Campbell going around his outside. Campbell will go back up into the top 5 here. If he can make the move stick, that is. Nate Amoit is there as well. Campbell gets that move done. Nate just can't quite get it done there. Huckleberry comes into the pits. Marquez has gotten around Sanders on laps. And Nate makes the move stick on the 05 machine. So he'll take P6 from here. But he's not done yet, as he'll try and tackle the 15 of Campbell. Huckleberry back in the pits. And he's come back out of the pits now. He's actually on the same lap as Marquez as it stands. He will have fresher tyres, if he got tyres, or whether he just got damage fixed. There he is. And that is Jonas taking over the 18th position. And Nate struggling to try and get around Campbell here. They have similar laps on their tyres. I think Campbell might have just been burning his up a little bit more than Nate has. Got 2 laps difference between Campbell and Nate. Jonas coming through with his fresher tyres. Oh, big time into the fence. That was Huckleberry. He saw position in front of him with Jonas and just absolutely smashed the fence. Looks like it hasn't done too much damage to him though. He might have knocked the toe out. That's the equivalent of hitting your pinky toe on the coffee table. He's still got much more speed than what Jonas has. Jonas with 6 lap older tyres. As he gets around Nate. And he'll try and make the move on Campbell here shortly as well, going all the way down to the grass on the apron. Huckleberry starts making his way through. Campbell and Amoit both just allowing the overtakes to happen from these lap cars on fresher tyres. Now the battle between Ken and Nate will spark up once more. Fizikami's still happily sitting there in the 4th position, all on his lonesome. He's got about 2 seconds to Ken Campbell here in P5. There is the 78 machine, as he just got around all of us. I think we're going to go for a quick commercial break now. When we come back, we will be going to the end, so stay tuned. More action for the Over the Rainbow Rumble will be coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Over the Rainbow Rumble presented by Campbell Racing here from the Kansas Speedway. We're looking out the back bumper of our leader Kyle McCoy, and this is what 0.65 of a second looks like on this track. That is Tristan Help in a 99 just behind him. But Tristan has just been absolutely flying trying to catch this 16 machine. Almost said 15, but that's Ken Campbell. But Griesbaum is about to be under attack from our lap down duo of Marquez and Huckleberry. We also got Mark Pentecoff there in the 5, who was just accosted by them as well. 3 cars, 1 lap down, that being Pentecoff, Olivas, and Sanchez. Marquez starts looking for a way around the 68 machine. Like he's going to dive to the inside here in turn 3. Griesbaum staying up high to allow free passage for both of them. And this is going to slow him up a little bit as Huckleberry ran a little bit wide going through the tri-oval there. And green flag stops has started once more. McDonald and Rickard both in. But we picked the right time to go for a commercial break there, as the second round of green flag stops is underway. So Slama in the 9 car has come in as well. He will go a lap down. So taking the earlier stop definitely worked out for Griesbaum. When he chooses to pit here, as Olivas and Campbell have both come in. There's McDonald with his fresh tyres squeezing through a gap between Pentecoff and Nate. Watson is in. Now I understand the importance of fresh tyres, but damn, that was a tight gap. That McDonald just squeezed himself through. Griesbaum is in. If I was McCoy, I wouldn't wait on it too long. As Help is on his outside. McCoy's coming in this time. He made Help go around the outside of him just to slow up this lap. Asia also in. So too is Pentecoff. Horton's in. There's a few cars left to go for the second round of green flag stops. There's 5 cars left. It's Helf, Pizzakemi, Amoit, Collins, and Harmon. As Helf is in this time. So too is Pizzakemi. To Helf, not wanting Rickard to, no, not Rickard, McCoy to have the advantage that he had after the first round of green flag stops. Bernat Amoit is currently leading. He's gotten his bonus point for leading the lap. Now it's just Collins and Harmon left after him. So we'll see if Amoit comes in. No, he stays out. He wants to lead a few laps. Harmon has come in. There's just 2 cars left. That's Nate and Austin. Nate stays out another lap. McCoy and Health still 1 and 2 out of those who have pitted. Rickard in third, Campbell fourth, Griesbaum fifth, with Pizzakemi in an effective P6. 2 cars left to pit still. And Collins is in. Nate in the 29 car, the 1 car left to pit. I think he's trying to go to lap 100, so he only has to do 30 laps on this set of tyres. The less laps you have to do, the more you can use and abuse your tyre set. Sanchez is also in. And McCoy has gotten himself back onto the lead lap. And now Amoit is in. There is Ken Campbell. Currently effectively P4. But Griesbaum on his tail. The 1.7 second gap between McCoy and Health. Now the question is, how long before Tristan can get onto McCoy's ass? Pizzakemi trying to fight it out there with Griesbaum. That is the current battle for P5. And it looks like he's going to make it stick there coming out of turn 2, using the momentum of the outside lane. Ken Campbell just ahead of him. Campbell, who came in the lap before the 78 of Pizzakemi. And it looks like Pizzakemi is going to make that move stick very nicely. Now just in front of Pizzakemi is Scott Rickard. Rickard, who has about 5 lap older tyres than Pizzakemi right now. And if Pizzakemi can get around him, that will put Pizzakemi on the podium. Pizzakemi goes around the outside of his friend Scott Rickard. And he will take the podium spot away. Now, both of these guys got screwed in their league race before this one. An incident that involved McCoy and another vehicle took both of these two out of the running for their previous race. As Sanchez is still in the pits, so Sanchez getting some damage fixed. And Sanchez is out. The Sanchez will probably end up dropping down to 19th in the standings here, which will boost Huckleberry and Marquez up a spot each. the gap staying pretty solid at 1.5 seconds between McCoy and Hell. Nate, the 29 car, is currently the fastest car on track. Now just having a look at the last lap times. Health was slightly faster than McCoy last lap around, by just a little bit over a tenth. About 0.12 that he was faster. Campbell battling with Griesbaum now. And it looks like Griesbaum's going to get around him using the apron on the front straight. If you're new to racing, you're wondering how can they do that when there's clearly a yellow line painted down there. NASCAR has no out of bounds unless you're at a super speedway. So that's the new configuration of Atlanta, Talladega, and Daytona. You're not allowed to dip below the lines there. But around a track like this, you absolutely can. As both Huckleberry and Marquez have now overtaken Sanchez in the standings. We've got 4 DNFs from this race. Huckleberry's gone into the pits once more. That'll give the advantage back to Marquez in their little battle for the back marker. The gap between McCoy and Health not coming down as fast as I thought it might have been. The pace that Health was showing before. It is coming down though. There they are on track. 16 on screen. And just behind him is the 99. As he gets around Huckleberry there. That's what 1 second looked like. But let's go to Tristan and have a look at it off his nose. This is 1 second. Between himself and that red car just up ahead. This Griesbaum showing a lot of pace right now. He's looking to make the move on Scott Rickard. But here comes the 29 of Amoit. Peeks to the inside of Griesbaum. Now he's peeking to the outside as Griesbaum goes all the way down to the grass. These guys battling over 5th. Just ahead of them is the 4th place of Scott Rickard. And here goes Nate pulling to the inside of Andrew now. And Nate will make that move stick in turn 3 very easily. It's almost as if Griesbaum lifted a little bit just to give him the space to do it cleanly. Nate immediately going to work on the Scott Rickard car. And he makes that move stick as well. That one was just pure pace. I think Rickard knows that he's cooked. He's starting to lose some time. He's already burnt through his tyres. But a late race caution will change the complexion of this race completely, as the gap between our leaders has come down a ton. It's now only 0.3 of a second. I think that was due to Huckleberry getting around the 16 of McCoy. Tristan running lower on the circuit than Kyle is. Right up on his bumper as they come out of turn 2. Pushing him down the back straight a little bit. Oh, that was dirty. Kyle McCoy giving Tristan all the dirty air there going into turn 3. He waited to see which line Tristan was going to take so he could take it too. And Tristan caught the fence because of it. The gap's now back out to 0.8 of a second. And Tristan could possibly have damage on that 99 machine now. Oh, someone's going through the grass there. Not sure who that was. I think it might have been Pancho going through the grass. I think it was. There is Olivas. And he's driving very slowly here on the apron. He gets back out onto the track now. And he'll get back up to speed. We've got 10 laps left in this race. It looks like Olivas might be heading to the pits here. In fact, he is. Big time into the fence there for Griesbaum. Going to allow Ken Campbell to get back around him. There it is. The gap between our two leaders starting to come down again. It's come down 0.2 since Tristan got put into the fence. Let's go back in to check in on our leaders. There they are. We're just going to watch this battle as it unfolds. It's now down to 0.45 of a second. A little bit of a mistake there for McCoy coming out of the corner. Tristan was the fastest car on track last lap. Probably felt a little bit slighted by the way that Kyle put all that dirty air on his nose. Made him go into the fence. One caution could change the entire complexion of this race, coming to 5 to go. In fact, we're coming to 6 to go this time by, actually. If we were to get a caution right now, it would be probably a natural green-white checker. Means they'll get the restart with the green flag, and then the next lap is the white flag lap, and then they finish. Could add a little bit of extra drama to the race, but we're not going to build up the drama like that. We'll get a caution before they take the white flag, then we will get 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish, as we're 5 laps left to run. Tristan all over the tail of Kyle McCoy. Now, it's one thing for Tristan to catch McCoy. It's going to be a whole other thing to pass him, as he already knows. They both dive onto the apron. Lap traffic may play a factor in the lead of this race. It's just up ahead. There is Travis Massia and David Huckleberry. Oh, and tight. Tight was the 16 car coming out of the corner. That is lap cars playing their part. The tightness of the lap traffic put Kyle McCoy into the fence. McCoy struggling with the handle on that car now. He might have big damage on it. Looks like he can't run the low line. The car is too tight on him. Let's see how Tristan navigates the lap traffic here. We come to 2 laps to go. This is the last chance for us to get a caution before the end of this race. Oh, as Travis Massia got a little bit loose there coming out of turn 2. Almost turned it down into Tristan. As now it's going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for the 99 of Tristan Health. He was definitely the on-form car for the entire race. He worked his way from the back to the front a couple times. And even with that one mistake while he was behind Kyle, it didn't matter. Because he's going to come out of turn straight 4. And your winner of the Over the Rainbow Rumble here at the Kansas Speedway is going to be the 99 of Tristan Health. Kyle McCoy second. Ryan Pizzakemi in third. As we're going to wait for everyone to finish so we can get the results up on screen. We got Health, McCoy, Pizzakemi, Amoit, and Rickard as our top 5. Here we go. Health, McCoy, Pizzakemi, Amoit, Rickard, Campbell, Collins, Greasebum, Slama, and Watson. That's how your top 10 shape out. Then we have Horton, Harmon, Massia, McDonald, Pentacuff, Olivas, Marquez, Huckleberry, Sanchez, and Sanders down to 20th. Go over to the last page, McAnally and Pape, both DNFing from the race. In fact, Pape did not start the race. But there is a very, very happy Tristan Health. And we are now going to go to a commercial break since he decided to exit stage left already. When we come back, we will have driver interviews. All right. It's time for driver interviews, and as always, we kick things off with the Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award. And today's Hard Charger didn't qualify because nobody who qualified gained positions. So our Hard Charger tonight, starting from the 19th position, he finished in P3. Your Hard Charger is, of course, a 78 of Brian Pizzakemi. Brian, a great race from you out there. Started 19th, worked your way all the way up to a really, really decent podium. Were you worried that we are going to get maybe a little bit of a wreck fest with that early caution?
With that first one, not really. I knew everyone was on top of each other at the start, and I figured there might be a caution or two. I wasn't sure how that would all play out. It seemed a little loose, and then the car seemed to get to like a neutral state where everyone could kind of drive around each other and not be too out of sorts. So it made me nervous, but also at the same time, it didn't. It was just a matter of, this league's pretty good about, early caution, take a deep breath and try again.
Now, let's talk about the pit strategy with the two green flag stops. What was your plan coming into this? I know obviously the caution didn't change that much with how early it was, but what was it like just trying to deal with old tires versus new tires, dirty air, no dirty air, and just trying to work your way through the field the way you did?
My whole plan was to try and stick around what the others around me were doing. I realized I ran a little bit long the first one and let Kyle and Tristan pull away a little bit farther than I thought they would. And I mean, I was already struggling to keep up, but man, they were gone by the end of the first one. But man, that the dirty air though was a bit interesting because the car would go from being somewhat neutral tight to, oh look, a wall. And so you just had to kind of explore and find whatever would work for you, or in my case, whatever would work against Ken.
Yeah, you definitely had quite the epic battle with Ken the entire race. What was that like? Because he's a pretty formidable challenger.
It was very, very fun. I had a good time racing with Ken. Yeah, he kept me on my toes the whole time. I hadn't really considered the top side being too viable until I looked behind and he started catching with the top line. I'm like, well, if it's working for him and he's having a good time up there, why don't I go up there? And not, 2 laps later, I go up there. It's like, no, 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 go away. This is my clean air. Um, so we're having a pretty good time bantering about that in voice chat.
All right, now let's look forward to next week. We go from the high banks of the mile and a half of Kansas to the short high banks of Bristol. What's the feeling like for you as we head to the last great Coliseum for a race sponsored by Gladiator, funnily enough?
Uh, yeah, that's an interesting sponsor. It's a good time. I don't know. Bristol, I'd have to do a few laps to test. I'm just hoping, with this league, we can at least try to keep it green, but I foresee a few wall hits in my future.
All right, well, before we let you go here tonight, Brian, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Shout out to everybody for putting on a good show tonight. I know we had one caution, but I mean that was it, and it was great. Shout out to all the drivers. I mean, everyone in voice chat that sits around and BS's during the race is a good time. Everyone for watching, and then you for the broadcast as usual. And thank you, Dirty Air, for giving me the best time to annoy Ken with.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, Brian. Congratulations on coming home as the hard charger and with P3 for the first time in forever. And we look forward to seeing what you can do next week when we go to Bristol.
All right, thank you, Corey.
All right, guys. That was our third place getter and your Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner, 78 of Brian Pizzakemi. Coming up next, we're going to get our second place driver, and unluckily, second place driver. It is, of course, the 16 of Kyle McCoy, Kyle.
Hey, Corey.
It seems that you just about had Tristan beat, but the dirty air from the lap cars just absolutely sent you. for a bit of a ride there.
Yeah, it didn't help. That was kind of my advantage was having the track position over him, so I could kind of dump the dirty air on him. And once we evened out there, the lap cars kind of came back to us, and I don't know, my right front gave up the last 3-4 laps. So Tristan was fastest; he deserved to win. So that was that. It's not like it's the end of the world, but after he had that trouble with or getting in the fence, I was like, man, maybe I can sneak away with this thing, and it is what it is. It's second place, a great run in here, so I'm really happy with it.
And it definitely looked like it was a real fun race. 2 green flag stops, which is something we don't usually get because it's normally interrupted by maybe a caution or two. But it looked like good fun out there. The car was not out of control, and it was just a good bloody race.
Yeah, car was stuck to the track, and we had those green flag pit stops, like you said, and those are usually where I can make up some time, and I did on that first run, and then I put myself in the fence and cost myself about 2 seconds, which really was kind of the buffer I needed that last run to run it out easier. But uh, it was fun anyway. And yeah, the car here is a blast. We were talking maybe a daytime race would have been fun to be a little more slip sliding around rather than stuck in the track, but this created a different type of kind of strategy where you had the dirty air being a little more prevalent than usual, and that was a lot of fun. It made it interesting. It's one of those tools you don't want to use, but if it's there, you kind of have to. So it made it fun and made it interesting towards the end.
All right, now let's talk about pit strategy real quick. Of course, we had the 2 green flag stops. So, what was the strategy like from you? Just trying to figure out when you wanted to try and take those stops.
Yeah, yeah. Well, starting from the pole, I got myself a little bit of buffer, and like both runs, I had a buffer, and I knocked the fence down on both runs and kind of blew up what strategy I could have used to go, maybe go long a couple laps with a buffer and make up that ground, to kind of how Tristan did at the end, where he was a couple laps pressure tires and making up the ground a little bit at a time. But it was interesting because the question in this car is whether you split it or whether you run long. And felt like here tonight, for whatever reason, splitting it was faster. And so I made up a ton of ground on that first run, then gave some of it back. And by the time we were pitting for the second time, it was even again. And I'd kind of lost the buffer I made on that first run. So it was interesting. It felt like splitting was the way to go, just because tires did fall off quite a bit. Right front was tearing up all night long. So it was necessary to get in, kind of split them up rather than going a little bit longer than usual.
All right, now let's look forward to next week. Going to be going to the concrete high banks of the Bristol Motor Speedway. What's the feeling like for you as we head into the last great Coliseum?
Yeah, Bristol's a blast in these cars, so I'm excited to run it. I always say that Bristol isn't one of my best tracks, but I usually run pretty well there, so I'm looking forward to seeing what I got there. I feel like a top five for sure is in the cards, and maybe if the strategy works out, that race can get really interesting if it goes green and you start splitting strategies and short pitting for extra stops and things like that. So that's gonna be a fun one in here, and we'll probably have some more cautions to deal with rather than or against what we had tonight. So that'll make things interesting, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That should be a fun one.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to everybody in this league that puts on a great race. This is probably the most competitive league I run in, and it's a blast coming in here at night and kind of seeing where I stack up. So, shout out to everybody who puts this league on. Shout out to you for putting on a great broadcast as usual. Looked like it was hopefully somewhat entertaining, at least for the win. And yeah, thanks to everybody who puts this on, and looking forward to coming back next week and giving another run.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Kyle. Congratulations on coming home with P2, and we look forward to seeing what you do next week when we head to Tennessee.
Awesome, Corey. Thanks very much.
All right, guys, that was our second place getter here tonight, the 16 of Kyle McCoy. Coming up next, we have our race winner, and tonight's race winner definitely had to earn it. It is, of course, the 99 of Tristan Health. Tristan, you didn't qualify by choice. You started 11th, you worked your way through the field, and you just had so much pace in that car tonight. But Carl nearly got you with that dirty air in that last run.
Yeah, I was hoping to start a little bit farther back 'cause I wanted to try to go for a hard charger. Uh, but yeah, he was getting me with that dirty air. I burnt my stuff up trying to keep up with him. And I was gonna try to make one last run on the last lap, and he just got tight and smacked the wall, and that just kind of sealed the deal for me. But that battle we were having, it was gonna be it was set up to be a side by side, probably photo finish for sure.
Oh yeah, I was loving every second of it. As soon as I seen that you closed in within a second of him, we couldn't keep the cameras off you guys. Just watching you just close in on him, lap after lap after lap. It was such a joy to watch. But what was it like in the car, just watching his rear end getting bigger and bigger in your face?
Oh, the Jaws theme was definitely kicking in. I could hear it in my head, and I on the shorter runs, I was definitely a little bit slower because I would slow down my pace to try to conserve some right front and run the seams to de-wedge the car to get it on the right rear. So I felt like even though he was getting bigger, I knew his laps were counting down. I'm like, I know I'm gonna have a shot at this. And even when I got there and within a couple tenths, I'm like, man, I'm having to push quite a bit and getting tight. But he ended up just getting super tight and just smacking the wall, and I was just able to what's that word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word right now. Woof. Take advantage of it, per se.
No, I would have said that you just swooped underneath him when he made that mistake. But that's me as an Australian who's traumatized by magpies.
Yeah, I got tight too. As soon as he started getting tight, pushed towards the wall, it made me tight. And I'm like, this is going to be bad if I don't let out a little bit.
But let's look forward to next week, though, Tristan. We're going to the last great Coliseum in Bristol. So, what's the feeling like for you as we head out to Tennessee?
Well, Bristol, me and that girl have a love-hate relationship, let me tell you. So we're just gonna go in there and just drive, just send it and hopefully have a good finish.
All right, man. Before we let you go here tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Uh, Bush Light once again, powered by Anheuser-Busch Light, and my dogs, Tally Zora and Judge Dredd, for behaving themselves while I race tonight. Made for a clean race.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, man. Congratulations on coming home with the win. And we look forward to seeing what you can do next week in the concrete high banks of the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Oh, that makes one of us because me and Bristol. Oof.
All right, man. Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was tonight's winner, the 99 of Tristan Houff, as Discord finally lets me move him. But that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out. It was an absolute fun race. But until next week, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Tennessee.